All right, guys, I just wanted to make a quick video talking about the 7 most common mistakes that people make after uploading a YouTube video. Now, one of the reasons why I wanted to make this video is because I've seen other videos like this that actually give pretty bad advice that could stop your channel from growing. And although it does seem to be pretty common sense and simple to upload a YouTube video the correct way, there are a few buttons that you can push that will actually stop your videos from getting promoted. And I want to make sure that you click the right buttons in the right order so that your videos actually have a chance at life and they have a much better chance at blowing up. So that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. I've noticed over and over again with a bunch of different people I've worked with that have helped grow their YouTube channels, including my own 50-year-old brother who pushed one of the wrong buttons and it actually completely stopped the growth of his channel in its tracks. So I don't want that to happen to you. Now, he was able to recover within the first month after uploading his first video. He got to $214 in a single day. And then 3 months after uploading his first video, he got to over $440 in a single day. So he was okay. He was able to recover, but making this mistake actually stunted the growth of his channel. And I don't want that to happen to you. So if you appreciate me making videos like this, let me know by gently tapping that like button, and let's jump into it right now. All right, so setting number 1 that I see a lot of people messing up on is altered content. So this basically has to do with AI. So I see people messing up in both different ways when doing this, both marking it as altered content, which is basically AI content when it's not altered content, or is altered content marking it as not AI content, because either way you are actually messing up. So if you use a little bit of AI to, let's just say, help you write the script, help you make the thumbnail, maybe a little bit of AI in the editing process, that's completely fine and you should not mark it as altered content. However, if your content is mostly made with AI, for instance, if you have an AI generated voice, if you have an AI avatar, like the person on the presenting the content is not a real person, it's an AI avatar, or if you have fake videos, like fake AI generated videos in your content, then you should mark the content as altered content. Now, whether or not you have altered content, you need to make sure that your content is high quality. Whether it's AI generated or not, the last thing you should do is upload AI slop, because it's only a matter of time before YouTube demonetizes your content, possibly even deletes your channel if you're making AI slop. Now, one thing that I see that happens a lot from people is they'll be like, I was getting a bunch of views, so my content couldn't have possibly been AI slop because people liked it, obviously, because they were watching it. Well, if your content misleads people or tricks them into watching it, and then basically they find out that it was clickbait and it was actually AI slop, they're going to have a bad experience. So even if you did get them to click on your video, watch a significant amount of their video, they are still going to have a bad experience with the content. And YouTube knows this. There's surveys that they do, for instance, there's a lot of different ways that YouTube can tell that your content is AI slop. And eventually they're gonna figure it out and they're going to punish your channel. So don't do that. Now, to be fair, AI is a new frontier. The advice that I give in this video could change in the next couple months. So this is something that you should take with a grain of salt because AI is so new and there's new AI technology coming out all the time. And we don't really know how YouTube as well as the other social media platforms are going to deal with. But the best advice I can possibly give you is if you are going to use AI in your content, make sure that the content is top tier. Make sure that it's very good, and YouTube as well as your audience probably won't care. All right, the second thing that you absolutely need to mark as off is player for education. Now, this is something that for most channels, if you go to the Earn tab, you actually have to enable it before it shows up on your videos. But if for whatever reason you did enable it, you need to mark player for education as off unless your content is specifically designed to be viewed and only viewed in a classroom. Then you can mark player for education as on or yes. But if it is not, make sure it gets marked as off. This is something that my brother did where he watched some random YouTube video that some random person put out who has no idea what they're talking about. And they said to turn player for education on, and immediately his views absolutely nosedive. Okay, so don't do this. Now, we were able to recover things. Now his channel's doing really well. And by the way, if you want to know how we were able to grow his channel so fast, I actually have a live training this Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, quick break. This Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm hosting a free live workshop called The Greatest Business to Start in 2026 with YouTube. If you've been struggling to find your YouTube niche, or you don't want to spend months or even years building a channel around something that isn't profitable or just doesn't work for you in general, then this workshop is for you. Because for everyone who shows up live, I'll be giving away the Hidden Niche Finder 2.1. This is the most advanced version of my GPT-powered niche validation tool yet, and it's designed to help help you instantly test and uncover profitable YouTube niches before you invest your time, money, and effort into the wrong one. And it's the most refined, data-driven version so far, and I'll be giving it away completely free, but only during this live workshop. So attend the free live workshop by clicking that link down the description and the pinned comment below to grab it. You'll also be able to ask me questions live, so I look forward to meeting you. Oh, and just a heads up, this will be probably one of the last times I'll be giving away a version of the niche validator for free, so make sure you click that link and show up to the workshop. Make sure you put it in your calendar, and I look forward to seeing you there. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming. But yeah, Player for Education should always be marked as off. Probably not even a good idea to enable it in the first place, but if you do enable it, go ahead and go into the settings or after you upload a video and mark it as no. Same thing with the next setting, which is made for kids. Now, you might think that, hey, my content is children friendly. I don't cuss, I don't do anything bad in my content. It's very family friendly, very children friendly. So I might just go ahead and mark made for kids because it's totally fine, right? Absolutely not. Do not mark made for kids unless your content is 100% designed to be made for children and only children. We're talking Cocomelon, Blippi, these types of channels. If your content can be enjoyed by both kids and grown-ups, family-friendly content, do not mark it as made for kids. This is a terrible idea. Chances are your content will get absolutely no views, plus it'll be scrutinized about 10 times harder by the algorithm. So do not do this. This is another big mistake that I see a lot of people making. And by the way, you might want to go back and look at your old videos and see if any of these things are enabled, because that might be one of the reasons why you're not getting views. Additionally, and kind of in the same category, is make sure that your age restriction is off too. This basically makes it to where people who are 18 or younger can't view your video. Obviously, if you're making content for 18 plus, like very serious type content, you might consider turning this on. But generally speaking, most people on YouTube are making family-friendly content, or even if it's slightly not family-friendly, it's still probably okay for teens to view it. And so do not put this on unless you're making very specific niche type of content. For 99% of people, you do not want to put age restriction on. Keep it off. Next one is don't show inappropriate words equals on, okay? So there is a setting where you can basically say, don't show inappropriate words, and you can mark that as on. That is a good idea. Generally speaking, advertisers do not want to advertise on videos that have inappropriate words, especially if it is a written word, right? So YouTube's auto captions can mishear safe speech as profanity. So even if you didn't cuss in your content, it might mishear you and auto caption it as cussing. You don't want it to do that. You definitely don't want it to actually caption it and have it as text. So make sure that this equals on, because a lot of advertisers will not want to advertise on that content, and the YouTube AI kind of decides whether it's appropriate or not. And if it's in that gray area, they're probably still not going to give you ads. And then that means you make less money, they make less money, so they're less likely to promote your content, and so on.
Quick break. This video is sponsored by me. Most of you don't know that I actually have my own coaching program on personal branding and then growing and making money on YouTube. And this is good for complete beginners, maybe even people who just want to get a job by growing their personal brand, all the way up to people who are very advanced on YouTube. And they get to work directly with myself and my team to help them reach their goals. Now, we are opening up 3 to 5 spots, and this is pretty rare. We usually don't have these open. We usually only limit them to select people, but we're opening up 3 to 5 spots, and you can check those out down in the description and the pinned comment below. And in this program, you'll get to work directly with myself and other people who are highly successful on YouTube. Just as an example, Sean was able to go all the way from being stuck, not making very much money on his channel, to making over $500,000 a month. Now, that's an example of one of my more advanced students, but there's lots of examples of people who started off from scratch and they got to 5K a month, 10K a month, etc. So check that out down in the description and the pinned comment below.
Now, another massive mistake that I see people making is either not enabling monetization, or they do enable monetization, but then they disable some types, such as mid-roll ads. There is no reason ever for you to not enable monetization. You might think, oh, well, my audience is very sophisticated, right? And if they see an ad, they're going to be turned off. Listen, if your audience is sophisticated, they would have YouTube Premium, right? They wouldn't have to see the ads in the first place, or they have an ad blocker, or they have something along those lines, right? There is no reason for you to not have monetization on. And one of the big reasons for that is because when you don't monetize your videos, that means YouTube makes less money, and therefore they are less likely to promote your content. So you want to monetize your videos, so turn monetization on. And on top of that, you want to make sure that all of the different monetization methods are enabled, such as mid-roll ads. Very, very important that you do this. And by monetization methods, I mean the different types of ads that pop up on your channel, just to be very clear here. So I don't mean like enabling super chats and stuff like that. If you want to do that, you can. Now, I do have a prediction for the future. I don't think this is true necessarily right now, but in the future, I do think this may become true. And that is that YouTube is going to want you to use their other monetization methods, such as super chats, memberships, etc. And I do have a prediction that they will probably start penalizing channels that don't use these other monetization methods, because those channels are going to be making a ton of money outside of the YouTube platform, and YouTube doesn't get a piece of the pie. I don't necessarily think it's true now, but it likely will be true in the next few years. So it might be a good idea to enable super chats and memberships and all that stuff as well. And another common mistake I see, and this is the worst mistake you could possibly make, and I cannot believe how many people do this, is deleting your video when it flops initially. Some of my most successful videos completely flopped when I first uploaded them to the channel. And then they end up getting hundreds of thousands or millions of views later on. If your video flops initially, it doesn't matter. It could just be that YouTube needs some time to find the right audience, to find the right way to promote your video. You know, there's a lot of different ways to promote it. They can promote it on Google, they can promote it on search, they can promote it on the main page like browse, or they can promote it and suggest it, right? So there's many different ways for YouTube to promote your video, and sometimes it just takes it a little bit of time to figure out how to do it. So I've had videos that have only gotten, you know, a few hundred or a few thousand views initially, and they end up getting hundreds of thousands or millions of views down the line. So never, under any circumstances, should you delete your old videos when they don't do well right off the bat. In many cases, it might take months or even years for the video to take off. I've literally had videos that I've uploaded on my channel and they've been up for over a year, and then all of a sudden they take off. So do not delete your videos. Keep them up on the channel, because once you've done the work, you might as well see if the video is gonna take off. Those are the 7 most common mistakes. If you wanna know how to make a successful channel, check out my live training this Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, down in the description in the pinned comment below. I'm gonna be giving away an AI that makes all of this stuff way easier as well. And it'll be the only time I do this live training and give away that AI for free and public. And you can ask me any questions you want on your YouTube channel, and I will answer every single question. So do not miss out on it. Down in the description in the pinned comment below, check it out. Also, 99% of you are never going to work one-on-one with myself or my team. I totally get that. You're just going to enjoy my free content and my free live trainings, and I love that, right? However, for the 1% of you that are extra busy, or you want extra tender loving care on your account, go ahead and apply for my coaching down in the description and the pinned comment below. We are very limited in who we can work with, but with that being said, if you think you're a good fit, on this call, we'll figure out where you are right now, where you want to be, we'll make a plan to get there, and we'll see if we're a good fit to work together or not. So only apply if you're very serious about growing and making money on YouTube. And also check out this video right here where I talk about how I made millions of dollars on this exact channel that you're watching right now.